road dips into Lantern Hollow just before dusk. You feel it first in the sound. The steady drone of tires on pavement lowers into a softer grind as the road gives way to older gravel near the bend. Damp earth absorbs the noise. Meltwater threads quietly through the low ground beyond the shoulder. Patches of woods press in along both sides. Birch trunks pale and peeling. Pine dark and upright behind them. Underbrush still thin from winter, but beginning to show faint green along the forest floor. The air is cool, not sharp, not biting, just cool enough that if you rolled down the window, the chill would rest lightly against your knuckles. You keep your speed steady. The basin gathers light differently. Even before the sun lowers fully, the sky softens here, diffused by thin cloud that holds the evening in place. The hardware store passes. The church with its narrow steeple. A porch swing moving faintly in air you cannot quite feel from inside the car. And then your childhood house appears on the left, the maple tree taller than it once was, the siding dulled unevenly, a gutter bent slightly near the corner. Your jaw tightens once, your grip shifts on the wheel. You do not slow. The engine hum remains even as you pass. There will be time tomorrow. The road dips once more before rising toward the edge of town, where the chimney of the lantern house comes into view first. A thin ribbon of smoke lifting into the cooling sky. The single lantern at the post is already lit. You turn in. Inside, warmth meets you without excess. The fire in the hearth is low and steady. Oak logs settle quietly, giving off a faint crackle beneath the larger silence of the room. Behind the desk stands Lorie, late 30s, brunette hair drawn back low at the nape. A simple knit sweater in a muted shade. Sleeves pushed back just enough to reveal steady hands. She is slim without fragility. Pretty in a way that does not ask to be noticed. She looks up. Recognition settles in her expression before she speaks. You're back. It is not a question. You nod. Second floor's ready. The key is already resting near the edge of the desk. She studies you once, not lingering. You eaten. You answer. I'll leave something in the warmer, she says simply. Professional kind, already prepared. Upstairs, the hallway runner softens your steps. The narrow window at the end of the hall shows the basin beginning to fill with evening shadow. Cool air seeps faintly through the frame. Inside the room, the temperature is comfortable, but not warm enough to forget the season. Chair by the window, small desk beneath it, wash basin on its stand, bed turned down neatly, and at the foot of it, the quilt, folded the same way, faded red square near the edge, pale blue patch worn softer than the others, a mended seam where stitching wanders slightly before correcting itself. You recognize it immediately. Your hand rests on the fabric. Years ago, you lay beneath this same weight, staring at the ceiling, restless with ambition. The air had felt too small for you then. Sleep came lightly because departure waited on the other side of morning. Tonight, the cool air near the window touches your face. You set your bag down slowly. On the desk rests the folder from the lawyer's office. Papers clipped neatly. Signatures dated. Beside it lies an envelope. Cream paper. Your name written in a hand you would know anywhere. Inside is a photograph. You do not open it. You already know the image it holds. Front steps of the house. Sun too bright. Your shoulders turned outward. Your father half behind you, caught between pride and something he did not say. You slide the envelope into the top drawer. Your hand lingers on the wood, a second longer than necessary, before closing it. Down the hall, the bathroom still holds the old clawfoot tub. The enamel shows faint lines from years of use, but it is clean. A small window stands cracked open. Cool spring air drifts in as you turn the tap. The pipes answer with low knocks before steadying. Steam rises. You test the water. Too hot at first, you adjust it. When the tub is full, you step in carefully. Heat meets your skin in stages. Calves, back, shoulders. For a moment, the cool air brushes the surface of the water and lifts into steam. The tension from the day unwinds slowly. The lawyer's office, the careful reading, the signatures placed without flourish. You rest your head back against porcelain. Nothing requires you here. No decisions, no composure, just warmth. Your breath catches once, not in sobbing, just in release, and you do not correct it. You sit until the water cools. When you return to your room, the envelope on the desk has been squared neatly to the edge of the drawer. Not opened, not disturbed, just steadied. You notice. You say nothing. You unfold the quilt and pull it over yourself. The coolness in the room makes the warmth underneath more distinct. For one moment, you register that you are warm. Your thoughts move once or twice. Keys, utilities, the maple tree that will need trimming. Then they slow. Sleep arrives gradually. Morning light enters thin and cool. You descend the stairs. The fire remains low but steady. Lorie stands near the counter, pouring coffee. A cup already waits at the place near the wall. At the table by the window sits a familiar figure, a childhood friend. You're back. For a while, I heard about your dad. Your fingers tighten briefly around the mug. The porcelain warms your palm. I'm settling things, you say. They nod. Conversation shifts. Who moved away? Which storefront changed hands? How the river ran high last spring. No excavation, just present tense. When your friend stands, they gather their coat and nod once before leaving. You rise and approach the desk. You'll be at the house today, Lorie says. You nod. If you need boxes, I've got some in the shed. Thank you. You reach for your wallet. She closes the letter gently. Settle it later. Her tone does not change. It is not indulgence. It is timing. Outside, the air remains cool, the ground firmer than last night, but not fully dry. You turn the car toward town. When the childhood house comes into view, you slow just enough to turn in. Gravel shifts beneath the tires. You put the car in park. The engine hum lingers low and steady. You turn the key. It cuts cleanly. Silence settles. You sit for a minute. The house stands the way it always has. Paint weathered. Porch rails slightly uneven. A window on the second floor, reflecting pale morning sky. Movement along the side yard. Thomas comes around the corner, work gloves already on. He nods once. You made it. That's all. He reaches for the trunk before you open your door fully. You step out into the cool air. It presses lightly against your face, steady and manageable. You walk to the front door. The key is cool in your palm. For a second, just a second, you feel the weight of it. You slide it into the lock. It resists the way it always did. You lift slightly, turn, and feel the mechanism give. Behind you, Thomas sets a box on the porch. The maple branches shift in the cool air. The basin beyond the rooftops remains steady under thin spring light. The door opens.